They're tired of the extremism that's coming on the Democratic side. I mean, they just passed a law in New York that says that, women are now not gestating females, mothers and fathers are non-gestating. I mean, what are we doing here?
That was New York Congresswoman Claudia Tenney with me here last weekend on New York State Democrats sending a bill to the desk of Governor Kathy Hochul that would strike the terms mother and father. Yes, you heard that right. They want to strike the words mother and father from law and replace those terms with gestating parent and non-gestating parent, if you can believe that. We'll see if Kathy Hochul signs it. The House on Wednesday held a hearing with superintendents from schools across the country on the eroding of parental rights amid a push for progressive policies at the expense of education. Congresswoman Lisa McClain questioned the superintendent of Loudoun County Public Schools in Virginia on an incident last year at a high school in which a biological female who identifies as a male filmed biological males in the boys' locker room. The biological males ended up receiving a longer suspension than the biological female who did the filming. Watch this.
Our school division would not discipline students absent a violation of our disciplinary policies.
Excuse me? What the heck does that mean? So in what realm does that make sense to you?
A violation of our disciplinary
policies. So what realm does that make sense to you, sir?
Our school division.
That's a great answer to a question I didn't ask.
Students.
You are extremely weak, pathetic, and thank God my children didn't go to your school.
I disagree with your characterization.
You can disagree hypothetically.
Joining me now is the woman herself, the chairwoman of the House Republican Conference and a member of the House Education Committee, Michigan Congresswoman Lisa McClain. Congresswoman, good to see you. What was that all about?
You know, it's sick, it's weak, it's pathetic, it's disgusting. We had the administrator from Loudoun County Schools try to answer some questions, some simple questions. I mean, he's the leader, he's supposed to be in charge, and he can't answer a question. We wanted to shed light on what's going on in our education system today. We're not focused on reading, writing, and arithmetic, and that's evident because all of the test scores are going down. What we are focused on is this woke ideology. I mean, think about this for one moment. First of all, we're having females in male locker rooms. All right, in and of itself, that's a problem. Then when the female tapes the male student, who is the victim gets a harsher penalty than the female student? So, I mean, come on. This is exactly the kind of idiocracy that is going on in these education systems, and we have to expose it, and that's what we intend to do. It's sick, it's weak, it's disgusting, and if you can't answer a question, what I would suggest you need to step down and get somebody in there who can answer a question.
Well, I mean, do you think this is resonating with the American people? What do you need to do to ensure you don't lose the majority in the House? What is the most important messaging you need to convey to voters coming up to the midterms?
Yeah, this is going to be a contrast for America. It's going to be a contrast election between common sense and crazy. Republicans were common sense. I think males should go in male locker rooms, females should go in female locker rooms. I actually think we should punish the criminal and take care of the victim. The other side is absolutely crazy, and that is what we need to focus on, common sense versus crazy. Also, we need to talk way more about what we've already done for America. Let me remind everybody, every single Democrat voted to raise your taxes by not signing on to the One Big Beautiful Bill or the working families tax cuts. Maria, it's really simple. Democrats want more of your money, and what do they want it for? They want it for the waste, the fraud, the abuse. They want open borders. They want to defund the police. They want, no biological gender. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Americans want common sense, and that's what the Republicans are here to provide.
Well, you didn't extend FISA. You didn't get Save America passed. I mean, how are we supposed to believe that our elections are secure when you had, so many years of wide open borders under Joe Biden? You've got mail-in ballots. I mean, what are you going to do to get the secure America across the finish line? Americans want this. They want to be able to know that people have shown citizenship proof.
Right. That's not too much to ask, and you are spot on. In my opinion, this is one of the most critical pieces of legislation. Now, we've passed it out of the House, but what we're going to have to do is we are going to have to attach it to a reconciliation bill or a must-pass bill and kick it over to the Senate and let the Senate do their job. Put them on record. Make them vote. Make them take a vote. This is common sense. It's an 80-20 issue.
Yeah.
We have to do the right thing in the House and actually continue to push.
You're not going to have the time, right? What do you have, like 14, 15 legislative days left until the August? 15 days until the August recess. So what are you going to get done in 15 days? Is it all about the midterms at this point?
Well, in my opinion, yes, it is about the midterms, but we have a short period of time, and we need to deliver Save America for the American people for safe and secure elections. The president is right when he says if we don't do this, it is going to continue to be a lot of mistrust out there. We have to let the American people trust what we're doing. This is common sense. Pass the bill.
Yeah, no, you know what, Congressman, we appreciate your leadership, and we're going to be watching your work. Thanks so much for being here this morning.
Thank you.
All right, Congresswoman Lisa McClain.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.